Hey guys, so I haven't been online for a while, but don't worry, I didn't leave for any serious reason. I just wasn't in the mood for making videos the past couple months, so I thought I'd take a short break. Anyways, as you can see from the title, I finally watched through the entire season of the new Total Drama just last night, and there's definitely some things I would personally like to say about this, and the main one being that this was by far the grossest season of Total Drama I've ever watched. Now, I know in previous seasons there were a lot of gross moments, but this season just felt as if it was over-exaggerated and almost as if they were just being gross just because. Now, I actually tried watching this last month, and I only got through a few episodes, but for some reason it just seemed like there was so much going on at once, and I felt like my brain just wasn't able to process what was happening, so I ended up dropping it only to rewatch it a month later.
Bruh.
Now, this leads me to my first issue with the season, and that's how it's paced. I don't know, it almost felt as if the season was just rushed. I just feel like a few of the challenges, especially before the merge, were just a bit overcomplicated to the point where they have to rush the contestants to finish so they could finish in the 20-minute episode time frame.
Don't want to get too close. I'll wait until that immunity bell is in sight. Then I'll step over her broken body and ding, ding, ding.
But as I was saying, I feel like each episode was just challenge after challenge after challenge after challenge, and I feel like a lot of characters didn't get enough screen time or development because of this. And the characters that did get enough screen time had to be some of the crappiest ones in the entire show. And by that, I mean Ripper. Ripper freaking annoys me. And he's gotta be the most disgusting, horrendous people that I've ever seen roam this entire earth. How did he make it this far? Tell me how, because this disgusting rat should have been booted since the very first episode. Now, all the eliminations in this season I felt were well-deserved. I don't believe anyone got robbed, but Ripper should have not lasted as long as he did. This man seriously makes me sick to my stomach, and I clearly don't like him, and I think many other people would agree with me when I say this. Ripper is literally the person that I felt single-handedly ruined this season for me. I don't like him. And I feel like I got even more and more sick of him after each episode, and I feel like he got way too much screen time. He's literally the embodiment of why the season was just so gross for me. I feel like he's Owen but 10 times worse. This man literally made his entire personality farting. Literally why? And the fact that they pretty much shoved this in our faces, forcing us to shove every disgusting farting scene down our throats, made it so much worse. We don't want to see that crap. Get your fat ass away from me and go back to the Hunter exam. Now, if they only showed scenes like this once or twice under certain circumstances, this would be fine. But to have it constantly shoved in our faces just irks me. It can't get any worse than this. It does, because literally one of the episodes is just them farting the entire time. I kid you not, I'm not even lying about this. They literally made an entire episode where the whole cast is just farting 90% of the time. It's freaking disgusting, and literally nobody wanted to see that. Whoever wrote that episode needs to be fired, because that was just pure dog water. And if you think the farting was bad enough, wait until you see the vomiting, because I think the absolute worst moment was in the very last episode where Bowie and Priya had to milk the goats and then drink it, proceeding to tumble down a hill in these giant balls until they vomit inside of them to get to the finish line. Yeah, this was just extremely gross at this point. And then to top it all off, Priya jumped off her little orb or whatever, and then hugged Chris while she was covered in vomit. This point, I think the producers just went too far. Why are they doing this to us? We didn't ask for this, and I don't want to see this anymore. Now, besides the really gross stuff in this season, I'd say the entirety of it is a hit or miss. It was okay, but I won't say it was exactly great. For the most part, I just found it a bit juvenile compared to the other seasons, almost as if Total Dramarama was just kind of rubbing off on it, and some of the characters just seemed a bit nerfed, and some of the jokes were just kind of childish. Besides this, one other thing I noticed was how there was a major plot hole with Julia's phone, because on the very first episode, Chris literally threw all her phones to the lake and said there were no phones allowed on the island. But then an episode or two later, MK stole her phone, even though she wasn't supposed to have her phone in the first place. So where did it come from? How did she get it back? Did she just buy a new one in the middle of the show? Or did she jump in the lake and the phone just happened to work when she took it out the water? Because this isn't even adding up for me. It just makes no sense at all. And another thing I like to add is how I felt like Nichelle was just lost potential. I was honestly expecting her and Julia to team up or something and be similar to Heather and Lindsay, and one of the girls backstabs the other, or they both work as a team to manipulate everyone and make it to the finale. Because I would have definitely liked that duo than the one we actually got, because these two were just flat out annoying. And Priya's just a pick-me. Now, I will say there is a good chunk of characters that I did end up liking, but for some reason, I like Scary Girl the most. I don't know, she was just funny for me for some reason, and she would just say the most random things.
Blood.
I don't see her as scary though. The way I see her is how I see Pennywise, because I don't find him scary at all. He literally just makes me laugh when he tries to be scary. Now, I did feel as if there wasn't enough drama, or at least the same type of drama we would get in the previous seasons. And when there was drama, it only lasted like an episode or two. And it'd be over something stupid like how Emma and Chase would constantly break up and get back together again just to break up again. Or how Priya ended her friendship with Millie after reading her diary or whatever, just to be friends again the following episode. But aside from that, I would say the season was decent, but not great, especially considering the fact that Chris got a new voice actor, and I'm still not used to hearing him. I'm sorry, but he's literally just Dawn trying to impersonate Chris. If they were gonna give Chris a new voice actor, they really should have asked the guy from Reunion to do that role, because he nailed that Chris voice. Anyways, what are your opinions on the new season? From what I heard, there was like a lot of mixed reviews for the season. Some people said it was really good, and some people said it was bad. But you guys can just let me know what you think in the comments below.